Hi, guys. Welcome to the Lover's Lantern. We're talking about the karma your toxic mother does not see coming. Group one, we have Merkaba and the Queen of Wands. Group two, Lapis Lazuli and the Tower. Group three, Septarian and the Ten of Cups. And for group four, this Evil Eye and the Knight of Cups. So go ahead, select your piles, and I will see you at the timestamp that you selected. Okay, hi, group one. Let's talk about your mother and what she doesn't see coming in terms of her karma. Okay, uh, I was just thinking and I already lost it. Anyway, I don't remember the exact words, but it was just this thing of like somebody reassuring her, like, oh, don't worry, it's not that bad, kind of like a minimization of what she's going through. We have perspective in reverse. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So I just see people as really challenging her perspective on things. Not even challenging her, but letting her know it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine. And she's seeing this as, or she's going to experience this. It's like a reflection of herself with justice. You could see the reflection of this woman looking in the water. And to me, it's like looking in the mirror, like something being reflected back to you. So I'm taking that your mother was a minimizer, or someone who would just kind of brush things off and just say, okay, well, doesn't matter. And it almost feels like a gaslighting thing that is going to be reflected back at her. Like right here, I am not the victim. I am the lighthouse. So there's going to be times, many times, where she will view herself as the victim and other people are going to give her these positive words. It's like that toxic positivity type of feeling I'm getting, um, where people are just going to tell her things that are positive, even though she's struggling. And she's struggling with change. I see her in this Eight of Cups as the person who is looking at these cups that have fallen over, and then there's somebody walking away. It seems like there's going to be a lot of people walking away from her, and she's going to struggle with that change, and she's going to spend so much time looking at, what was spilled over or what was missing. And all she's going to see is her reflection. Um, and it's weird because I'm saying she's going to see her reflection, but this woman looks confused. She looks confused when she sees her reflection. Um, and it's just that same feeling of with this number 8, like she's going to have to work really hard to not see herself as a victim. So maybe that's sort of what she's done. Um, she's sort of victimized other people and then minimized it, made it like it's not that big of a deal, and then just walked away, um, and left you to just have to observe it and look at it and sit with it, and then struggle to move on from it, and then just, oh, it's not a big deal. You're not a victim, turn it into something positive, you know, um, it's like really a reflection of what she has done. And a lot of her relationships are going to change. Here we have relationship change, you know, um, and and it seems like people are going to just have such an easy time walking away from her. Um, this is a stone of movement. Um, it's like I just keep hearing like people are on the move, people are on the move. Like this feeling of like life goes on. But then she's struggling to move on. She's struggling to walk away. She's struggling to understand. um, these things that people are telling her, like, you're not the victim here. Uh, but she's going to feel like she is and struggle to move on from it. I'm also hearing things like where people say, here you see the earth, so far away. This is like in space. And, thinking of the earth in this picture, it looks so insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe. And that's the type of thing that people are going to tell her. This is insignificant, this, you have your whole life. Um, like just a big minimization. Life goes on. You're not the victim. You played a role in this. Uh, all these sorts of things that I don't think she's ever really had to do in the past. And with this Queen of Wands, again, like the Queen of Wands is someone who is, very confident, feels very good about herself, very social and um doesn't have these types of struggles, and it seems like she's going to be forced into this type of this character, um even though she doesn't feel that way. And with relationship change too, it's like all these relationships are going to be changing with her. And she's just going to be forced into this position of having to be really positive and having to portray herself in a very social and I just heard socially accepted, in a very socially accepted way. But she's really going to struggle to do that on her own because she knows that if she doesn't, then people are going to leave, people are going to walk away, and it's going to be a lot of work for her to do that. Um, you know, with this jasper right here, this is a very earthly type of stone. And when I think of that, and then we have the earth right here beside it, and I'm just seeing change, like, and this is part of the script that people are going to give her when they walk away. It's like, you know, things are always in motion, the earth is always in motion, things change. Like you have to be uh accepting of change. You can't resist change. Um and I'm just really getting this as like a reflection of the things that she's said or done when she's walked away in the past, um, where she's left people behind, where she created a mess for someone else to look at and clean up and pick up. Like you see all this, this person just walks away and leaves the other on their own. With You Are the Muse in reverse and the number 3, I'm just getting that she's going to really struggle to create the experience that she wants, um, with the perspective and this Jasper in reverse. And I mean, the experience she wants, it's like how she wants to live her life, like how she wants to, uh, because she's going to really feel like a victim. She's going to really feel like a victim. Er, I'm always feeling lucky in reverse. Yes. I just keep hearing this affirmation of somebody just repeating to themselves, I'm not a victim. I am not a victim. I'm not a victim. Like having to keep telling themselves that, or having either keep telling themselves that or keep hearing that from other people. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Things move, things change. This is how life is. Um, and then just encouraging her to live her life. And what does your soul say? Like I just keep getting this of like live her, like, what do you want to do? What hobbies do you have? What do you want to create? What do you It's like finding her own way. I'm just really like, I don't know, this is weird because I'm feeling this like as from a mother's perspective, right? And I just feel really like the roles have reversed, like the roles have reversed, because I'm getting this feeling of somebody who wants to be this motivational speaker or has been in the past. Says to somebody like, look at how lucky you are, look at what I've done for you. um like, you have all these opportunities, you know meanwhile you're struggling with something. And it's like now the same is happening to her. It's like being forced to be positive or people will walk away. um so yeah, so a lot of her relationships are going undergoing a lot of change. A lot of people are going to be walking away. She's going to have to spend time alone, cleaning up whatever mess. A lot of people are going to, let her know that whatever she's going through, to look in the grand scheme of things, that none of this really matters. It doesn't make a difference. She needs to be the one to, make herself feel better. She needs to change her perspective on life. She needs to accept that she's not the victim. And if she doesn't, people are going to walk away because she's not. It's like being a drain on somebody with you the muse. I was going to say you're the muse. You the muse. Eh, it's worded. It's worded weird. Um, so it's like she's going to be forced to change how she speaks, how she comes across, um, in social situations with people. And I'm looking at this cat, like the shadow of the Queen of Wands. I just heard fake the funk. She's gonna have to fake the funk with people and see a reflection of herself. So yeah, so a lot of her relationships are changing. That's what she doesn't see coming. She's gonna really struggle with that. And I don't think she's gonna have anyone to really talk to about it, in terms of how she really feels about it. Um, because the people she does talk to about it with, it's like they're just gonna do this positivity thing with her. Um, and if she doesn't go about being positive about it, then they're just gonna walk away. Um, it's like when people will say, "Oh, this person's too draining. This person's too much." They're always acting like the victim. You know, they're not taking responsibility. They're not being accountable. You got to be accountable. But I'm getting this for things that she actually feels wronged for, or things that other people would actually look at it like she actually is the victim. Like she's actually the victim, but she's being forced to not act like it. Which again is quite lonely. She's going to feel really lonely in this, and it's like putting up a facade. Otherwise people are just going to leave. Um It very much feels like I'm just keep getting like this is what's happened with you. Like, you've had to be really positive, and really force yourself to look at the bigger picture and see that in the end of the day, it's up to you, um, to change, or to change your perspective, to look at yourself like you're not the victim, even though it's a really difficult thing to do. Um, because with this 3 in reverse and you're not the muse, or you are the muse. I was going to say you're not. I don't know why I said that. But it feels like you're not going to be able to create anything because you're going to be stuck in a victim mode. So you've had to change the way that you speak. Um, and it's like now she has to change the way that she speaks. Um, and it's not for the purpose of creating anything because it seems like she's not going to be able to create anything, but it just feels like it's for the purpose of having people even be around her, because a lot of people won't want to be around her, and they're just going to force her to embrace the changes, regardless of how she feels about it. And you know, she's just going to have to do it. Otherwise, she will be alone. She will be alone. And I'm also getting to that a lot of people will be holding her accountable with justice, and I'm not the victim. Um, it's like, well, you did this to yourself, you know, you did this to yourself. But even still, we have some sympathy for you, but we'll just tell you, look at the big picture. And none of this matters. If you really want to change things, if you really want to change yourself, then you got to find some common ground with people. So yeah, so that's the karma. That's the karma that she's not seeing coming, is that she's really going to be forced to um no longer view herself as the victim, because people are going to walk away from that. Um, she's going to be forced to be positive, um, you know, during all these changes. And it seems like she's really struggling. She's struggling with change as well, and how relationships are changing, and how people are forcing her to be more fair. And anyways, regardless, she's just going to have to sit with the fact that she's going to have to be positive in times where she is being victimized, because I'm getting a very like some other people having the upper hand now, like her needing other people. And so it's like, when a kid really needs their mother or their parents, and even though their parents hurt them, they can't like hold them accountable. They can't take a stand on it because they depend on them. So I'm also getting this too with like people she depends on. Like there's a change in the relationship where now she's going to be more dependent on other people, and she's going to be forced to be more positive. And it's just, you know, it's just what it is. Like I'm picturing someone in therapy, like a kid growing up in therapy, talking about, this happened and that happened. And, the therapist sort of advising them that, you have to focus on what you can control. And the only thing in this situation that you can control is your mindset and the way that you speak about yourself. The rest you can't control. So, and think about the big picture of your life. One day this won't matter. So yeah, so this is what I'm getting. A lot of people aren't gonna uh co-sign. I just heard co-sign with her perspective. And she's going to be forced to look in the mirror, and whether or not she accepts that she's done this to other people or put them in this similar situation, it's like it doesn't matter. Like she's going to have to do the work to, I want to say, transmute this victim mentality to something where it doesn't feel so horrible, because people are going to walk away, and these are the people that she depends on, you know and she's going to struggle with those changes, um, with people walking away, and also with changing how she views things, or in how she speaks to people, so she's not so freaking negative. I just heard someone say, you're being so negative. Yeah. And again, like this is going to be times where she's truly victimized. Like I'm seeing this woman here with a gun, um, and her actually being hurt, her actually being the victim, and not being allowed to look at herself as such. So, I mean, it kind of sucks. It's like she's not going to get any empathy. I mean, that sucks. She's not going to get any understanding, empathy, you know, and people are going to have an easy time walking away from her. So that's the reading. That's her karma. If you like the reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye. Okay, group 2, let's talk about the karma that your mother does not see coming. So it's definitely messy. Like these cards, I usually, put them out nicely, but it's just a messy sort of energy right here. And that's what the tower, you chose the tower, and that's what the tower usually describes is like something major happens and things are messy. With your mother, her karma, I'm just getting she's gonna have to face the music. We have music right here. Um, and like with you guys, I'm getting this feeling that it's you're okay. I don't know if I should say this part after I explain. It's like what she did with you, yes, it's facing the music, but I feel that it stemmed from a group or a belief that she had. Um I don't know, like, okay, when I was shuffling the cards, because here we have wolf and with wolves, they're pack animals, right? But then they can be uh, you know, banished from the pack. So I'm seeing that your mom is being banished from the pack. Like something major happens that banishes her from the pack. And the pack being a group of people, with teaching and learning, or it's like an ideology or a way of life or something like that. That's what I'm saying is I feel that whatever happened with you guys, it was the result of like either other people's influence or a religious or whatever type of lifestyle or ideology that she had. So as I was shuffling too, I kept getting John Wick. Okay. I don't know if you guys seen that movie, but he is, because I kept hearing excommunicado. So it's like being expelled or excommunicated from the group. But the reason he was excommunicated from the group was, I know he killed someone he broke the rules. He broke the rules. He killed someone at one of their hotels, and as a result, there was a hit on his head. So with your mother, like, but he was kind of forced to break the rules, right? With this tower, like something major is going to happen with your mother where she feels forced to break the rules and she will be banished from that group or that ideology or whatever it is, right? And with the devil here, I'm getting that this is like a group that she was really tied to. Like it just had such a strong hold on her, and like their teachings, whatever it was, it had such a grip on her, and it's like she believed it so hard. Because another thing I'm getting is Minority Report, the movie. It's like a Tom Cruise movie from back in the day where it like okay, the gist of the movie is that I don't know if he's like a police officer or something like that, and so they used to rely on these psychics. Like there used to be this ball that would roll out with a murder or something like a crime that was about to happen. So they would go and arrest people prior to the crime being committed, and that was their, I guess, law enforcement. And then one day, on one of these crystal balls, it showed him about to murder someone, and he thought there's no way in hell, but he really believed in this system of how they were dealing with criminals, relying on these psychics, and so he really couldn't believe. He's like, there's no way I would murder someone, there's no way that I would. And he walked into his house And like, lo and behold, he was about to murder someone because somebody was, touching his son in inappropriate ways or doing something to his son. And so he, beat the guy up, whatever. And he was right there about to kill the guy. Um, and like at the last moment, like, you thought he would, but at the last moment, he chose not to. And it really broke his mindset about this process that they have for, um, arresting people and holding them to justice before they even commit the crime, because it doesn't necessarily mean that they will. So it changed his mindset completely from this ideology that he had. So that's what I'm getting with your mom. She really believed in something. Something is major is going to happen that makes her realize that this is not right, and it's going to banish her from the group, um that's what I'm getting. It's a lesson. She's going to have to face the music, and it's a lesson for her. um and it's like, it's going to be so heavy. Like, with forgiveness, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. It's going to be so heavy. Whatever this tower is, whatever this major thing is, it's going to be so heavy. Because again, I'm getting John Wick again, where, they killed his dog. So he was going to retaliate. It was the only thing he had left after his wife died. And so it meant something really dear to him. And, that's what seeing here with heart medicine. Um, like something that they really hold close to their heart, like Tom Cruise's son. It's going to be seriously affected, and it's really going to change, and it's just going to be a major lesson for them. Like, it's like they're going to learn that people do things for certain reasons, like, or something like that, like they're going to have to develop a whole new way of thinking, and this is going to permanently change them. And I'm getting that this isn't going to be a positive thing. Like, the repercussions of this are going to be very bad. Like, again, I keep bringing up John Wick. Them doing whatever it was or is going to be really bad for them. Like, they're going to have to face the music for this. And the return in reverse, they won't ever be able to go back. Um, they won't ever be able to go back to this group, or these people. And it's like these people like held so much, like they were just so close to them. Like, it's like something that they've either really believed in or dedicated their life to. And it's going to force them to, here we have explore behind the veil. It's going to force them to look deeper and go deeper. We have birth and renewal and death in reverse. So with death in reverse, I'm getting, they never wanted this to happen. They never wanted, uh, they never expected, and they never wanted this to happen, but it did. And it came about in such an unexpected way because of something really close to their heart. And they're going to be forced to start over again. Um, and when I say start over again, it's like, it's, it's, it's something with this explore beyond the veil. It's like start over again. Like, they're going to have to, I don't know. It could be anything where they feel like, okay, now I have to start over again. Now this is a new life. Now I have to figure it out. Like the lone wolf. Like, now I have to live on my own. Like, because John Wick, okay, I keep going back to him. John Wick had to, like, it's like he had a hit on his head. He had to do everything alone. Uh, he had to protect himself alone. He knew everyone was out to get him. I don't know, like, this is whatever this is that your mom was really deep into, like, once she goes against it, it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big problem, but she had no choice but to go against it. And so, you know, like, she'll never be able to go back. She'll never like she'll never be able to go back. Um I'm getting that she will never be forgiven for it. Um, it's like it's like a sin. I just heard like a major sin. Like whatever she did, it's considered a major sin or something really, really bad. So I'm getting that as karma. It's like the one thing that she believed in so much. Um, Something happened where it affected her emotionally, or it was something really dear to her heart, where it caused her to react in such a way that she got banished, she got kicked out, and now she has to face the music for it. It made her have to reflect really deeply on what her beliefs were. And while she didn't want, it's like being forced into a change, like, you know, like having to let go of something that you've always believed. And it turns out to be the thing that hurts you the most. Like it's something that hurts you the most. And now you're being punished for it, for being human. I feel like she's being punished for being human. Um, because I'm thinking about the wolf and like their instincts. Like I don't know why wolves get banished, but it's probably something instinctual that they do. Like, I mean, I don't think it's something premeditated, right? So, yeah, she won't ever be able to go back from to it. And like that's what I'm getting it as a karma for her that she doesn't see coming. And I'm getting it like this, whatever this was, this group or this teaching or this whatever that she was so deeply into and so stuck on, or just had such a tight grip on her. It's like I'm feeling that this was the thing that made her treat you in a way that was bad. Like, this same thing that is banishing her was the reason for what she did to you, you know? So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. I mean, and I'm also getting this feeling too of somebody having to come back, um, having to come back and like with their head down, like, like I was wrong about this, like, um, but it doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't matter. Like, um, with enough in reverse, it's like it doesn't matter. Like it's not enough. Like either she goes back to them to seek forgiveness, or she comes back to you, or she comes back to people that she's wronged, and it's like no, it's not enough. It's not enough. So even though she didn't want this to play out the way that it just did. And now she has to start all over again, and she has to spend time really thinking about um, her beliefs and her whatever it was. Um, with this tower, it's like having to clean up the pieces. Um, and however she tries to clean it up, it's like it can't be cleaned up. Like it has to be a new beginning and a new start. And yeah, and there's some lessons in that for her. Um, you know, it just is what it is. But yeah, this seems pretty intense. This is like a very intense, sort of shocking thing that happens. Um, something very unexpected where, it's like she had no choice. Um, it's like having no choice but to kill somebody. Like, and it's not even having no choice. It's like the heat of the moment, it just takes over you. Your instinct just takes over you. And then having to pay a price for it. It's like being thrown in jail for, um, killing someone who was, doing something really bad to somebody that you loved. So yeah, so that's the reading. That's what I'm getting. Her karma to be that she doesn't see coming. And yeah, it's messy and it's rough. So if you like this reading, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye. Okay, group 3. Here's your message on the karma your toxic mother does not see coming. So this reading already reminds me of somebody. I will say that, here we have saboteur, self sabotage. I'm getting a lot of self sabotage. And with this 10 of cups, and also when I was doing this, about to start this reading, it's like, as I was shuffling, it's like, okay, hurry up and get started, hurry up and get started. And I was just like shaking my head. I'm thinking that your mom will, it's like a desperation that I'm getting from this reading. Like, she will be so desperate for this 10 of cups, like this emotional fulfillment, like, or this thing of like that she's trying to fulfill in order to have yeah, fulfillment in her life, like to feel good, to feel I'm getting accomplished too. With this 10 of pentacles in reverse, it's like it's not it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out because it's a desperation, and I also heard the word bamboozled. Here we have learned to tell bad advice, or learn to tell good advice from the bad. Okay, so advice is freely available to us every day, all day. How you deal with it all is on you and no one else. The key decisions are yours to make. In order to withstand the ups and downs of life, it is essential that you learn how to tell good advice from bad in order to find peace instead of peril. So I'm getting that your mother, the situation will be like she won't be able to decipher the good and the bad advice because she's so desperate to get somewhere and to hurry up and get started. It's like she doesn't give it um the right, like she doesn't think, like she's not going to be able to think. Like, I don't know. I don't know. This is weird. Like, this is someone who's super desperate. This is reminding me of somebody, like I said, who wants a particular outcome so bad. Here we have faith in your dreams in reverse. And with heard, may your brave call be carried into the wind. I think that your mother is also going to take on different philosophies in the ninth house that are not going to work for her. Like, how some people will believe in manifestation. Like, they'll say, oh, you just gotta, have the right mindset, things will work out. Other people, it's just a confusion. Do I let this go? Like, am I working too hard? Do I have to ease up? Do I have to walk away from this? Or do I have to put in more effort? Because there's so many ways and things that people will tell you, um, and advice that they'll give you that, you know, like it's like a confusion. I'm getting that your mother is going to be really, really confused and she won't know which way to go. And so she'll do a little bit of each. You know what I mean? She'll do a bit of each and then like self sabotage herself. And then also believe in things that don't even make sense. And that's what I'm getting with bamboozled. And all of this has to do with the future. Here we have future in reverse. It's like her trying to create a situation that is going to be emotionally fulfilling for her, or to have some good, impact for the future, or to bring her like some type of success, and she just won't be able to figure out how, and she's going to hop from thing to thing to thing and not be able to achieve it. And the bamboozled part is, when someone is so desperate to have a certain outcome, or they think like, oh, everything is just going to be good once I have this, like they're going to start doing stuff that doesn't even make sense. People are going to be able to, like, those scams, where somebody will say, oh, you just have to give me $2,000 and I'll turn it into $100,000, and this person's really trying to get money. And so they fall for it. And, everyone else will just look at it like, how stupid is that you believe that? Like, it just doesn't, there's no common sense in it. And I'm also getting the example of trying to lose weight. If your mom will be trying to lose weight, somebody will come around and say, "Oh, this is the way you got to do it," and another person's gonna say, "This is the way you got to do it," and so she'll just hop and just say, "Okay, let me get started." Like, doesn't think about it. Here with listen to your intuition and learning to tell good advice from the bad. She'll just like hop. Okay, let's get started. Let's do this, and then in the end, not be able to accomplish it, and it's a way that she's gonna keep sabotaging herself. Induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. And it's interesting here because this woman's in a hot air balloon. What is that? It's a bunch of hot air. Like that's the advice she's gonna get, and she'll just run with it. Um, she'll just run with it. I don't know if she was one to give really bad advice, and enforced her bad advice on you or on people, and I don't know why she would even be in this situation. This seems like I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I'm not getting anything from these cards of like how this could be her karma. Like this seems like a very strange karma. I'm also getting like for some it could be because I don't know, I'm getting like it's reminding me of somebody who in pursuit of what they really wanted and chasing their dreams, they've trampled over people. They've trampled over people. And this is sort of like a karma in the sense of, and I don't know, they just trampled over people. And so now they're like in this perpetual state of chasing after something that will never materialize because they are sabotaging themselves and they are hopping from one thing to the next, like never. Because here with Earth, I'm getting like a lot of things work very slow, like on the earth. Like it takes time for things to grow. It takes time for you to nurture and, tend to things. I'm getting the Knight of Pentacles in my head where it's really about being consistent and steady and putting in the effort over a sustained period of time. But with the karma I'm getting is like hopping from one thing to the next to the next to the next and not even allowing it time to take root. Um and with surrender right here, it's like she's going to have a really hard time to surrender to the good advice. Like that's what I'm getting with this is like, you know, because the good advice doesn't sound good. Nobody wants to hear I don't want to say nobody wants to hear good advice. Like when you want the shortcut, when you're so desperate for things, um, nobody wants to hear like, oh, okay, just be consistent, be disciplined. It'll happen for you. It's like I said, the get rich quick or like losing weight. No one wants to hear, okay, well, eat fruits and vegetables. Like, it's gonna take several months, work out, be consistent. Like people want to hear that advice of, take this pill, do this or do that. And it's really like bad advice. But there's a desperation in um, the way that there's a desperation in this reading. And that's her karma. She won't know how to think. I don't know if she's like been a dream crusher or she's trampled on people um, and given them really bad advice uh, or or told them not to listen to their intuition or things like that. Um, but I'm definitely getting she's going to be self-sabotaging herself quite a bit. She's not going to get the outcome she wants. Um, you know, and it's like I feel like crushed dreams with have faith in your dreams in reverse and future in reverse. Like I'm just getting this feeling of like you're running out of time, you're running out of time. And like the more time that goes by, the more desperate she gets, you know? Like I'm feeling something about not having enough money for retirement, with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and then getting bamboozled and getting scammed of the money that she does have because she's fallen for some, shady tactics, some get rich quick tactic, and just made it even worse. Like, I'm just getting like she's wasting her time. She's making it worse. She's sabotaging things. She doesn't know how to tell good advice from bad, and shift the way to new potential. I'm getting with that, with Earth, and shift the way to new potential in reverse. Like, she's always going to rely on like the potential of something happening in the future. Um, Never on what's present today, and what she can do today. Like, this can potentially happen in the future. It's like a gambling. I'm just getting like a gambling type of energy. Like, and just being mindless with advice, mindless in doing things that just don't make any sense. And that's the karma, is losing out, like losing out on her time, losing out on her dreams, losing, and mostly it's time. And like, I'm looking at the roots here, um and with the number 11, like, I'm thinking life path 11 and listen and intuition. I don't think she's ever heard her intuition, because she's like, okay, let's go, let's get this started, let's do this, let's do that. And this is where I think she's hurt people in the past, or walked over people in the past, people who were actually there, willing to do the work, the consistent work, the disciplined work. And she sort of like brushed it off, or brushed them off, or things like that. And now it's like, I just heard back to square one. She's always going to have to return back to square one. And sometimes square one is in the deficits, it's lower than square one, is what I'm getting to. So that's the karma that she's going to have to deal with. Um, it's just taking bad advice and being in a rush to implement it, and always focusing on potential and never on reality, and ending up in a worse position than she was before. And her intuition being blocked because she's too much in a rush and too desperate to make things happen, and not knowing the right way, the right philosophy on life, the right way to make it happen. You know, like, that is the reading. It's complete self sabotage. It's like a very self destructive way where you just cannot figure it out. And I'm seeing self empowerment in reverse here too. And I think all of these failures are going to make her feel disempowered, like she's not capable. Because I'm looking at Saboteur and the Earth. It's like she's gonna be confused again with this ninth house. She won't know the right way, like the right philosophy, the right approach to things. And it's gonna make her feel really disempowered. Um, in making whatever hope or dream or accomplishment or goal um being possible. Like, she won't know how to make it possible. And the more screw ups, the more bad advice, the more rush, it's just gonna feel more and more disheartening, and more disempowered. So yeah. Yeah. So anyways, that's her karma. If you like the reading, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, group 4. Here's your the karma for your toxic mom that she doesn't see coming. So I was laughing as I was pulling out these cards. There's something very comical about this. I'm like, what I was hearing was, it's so childish, but It's like you're a narcissist and then like snatching something back. It's like somebody giving her something and then it's just so childish. Like, I'm seeing this Knight of Cups here now, someone offering something and then taking it back and then calling her a narcissist and sort of like, look at this, offering and then snatching it back. And then walking away with this Eight of Cups right here. I, it's it's such a weird, it feels playful. Here we have flow with the dolphins, allow me divine to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. Like I'm getting that really playful type of energy with how people offer something and then snatch it back and then call her a narcissist, or it doesn't have to be a narcissist, but like call her some type of name and it's like, nope, you're not getting it, I'm taking it back. you know so I'm getting that as part of her karma. And then here we have only engage in conflict when all other alternatives have been exhausted, and then we got be flexible. So fighting is one way to achieve something, but it is never the best way. In all relationships, in all situations, there are alternatives to conflict in which there are no real winners. Sun Tzu proposes the use of deterrence, strategy, alliances, negotiation, and even making friends with your enemies. These are examples of supreme excellence in negotiation through life. And then be flexible. I won't read the whole thing, but it just talks about having rigid attitudes, and, be a little bit yielding. So there's a lot of communication cards here. We have flow, and I'm, seeing the dolphins. And then it talks about conflict and, how you interact with people. Here we have sacred sound, sacred breath and sound, life force and communication. And I'm seeing the blue here. So there's something about the communication uh, with how people are going to be talking to your mother um, when there's conflict. And I'm seeing them being like really childish with her. Um, like I was saying, it's like, and I think this will, like, we have crystals and amplification. So there's something about the communication and the way that people offer her things and then snatch it back that is going to be, it's going to amplify something in her. It's going to like set her off, you know? Um, and it's like she won't know how to deal with it. And then flower of life in reverse, inspiration. So flower of life and flow, I'm taking them to be very simple. I said simple. Okay, I think this reading is really simple. People are going to give her things. Like I just heard like a phrase and I don't want to say it because I think it's considered uh politically incorrect. Um so I won't say it cuz I don't want to get called out for it. But it's the idea of someone giving you okay, how do I want to say it, guys, don't roast me for it. How people would say Indian givers. I know, like, I know it's a very like racist thing to say, because they're talking about the natives giving their land and then now wanting it back. And I'm not meaning it in that sense, but I'm just seeing it as something where um, someone gives something and then snatches away, and they're just playing around and they're joking around, and they'll just say sort of really reckless things, kind of like that statement. It's a very reckless statement. And then like dolphin, dolphin, dolphin. Um, and then she just sort of has to like deal with it. And it's going to be really tiring for her because I'm seeing the word exhausted and weighing you down. And it's like gonna amplify the conflict that there is between people. And I think it's it's going to be really difficult for her to express herself about this. Like I'm picturing, or I'm remembering, because I'm seeing this horse, like, and I'm seeing the dolphins. I remember when I was in Egypt, I was riding a camel, And so with camels, you have to make this like sound to get them to move. It's like this. I can't do the sound, but it's like kind of thing. Like I can't do it, but it's like this like clicking sound with like the side of your mouth, and then it gets them to run. And like I don't know, I could just picture your mom like on this animal and like trying to get it to run, but not knowing how to communicate it, and like try like not making that sound, but just yelling and fighting. Like it's like and kicking the animal to go, and then like it's like a horse that kind of like does that thing where they flip upward and like they throw you off of them. And like I'm just getting like she won't know how to communicate through this, and she's just gonna get really frustrated with people who and she's just gonna have this happen all the time, like people being super like playful but childish. And then and oh, and I think another reason it's gonna piss her off too, because we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's like she's gonna be putting into things, putting her effort, her time, her energy into things, and then someone will just give her something and then snatch it back. Um, I don't know. This is a really weird karma. Very weird karma. And with the green here, with these two Virgo cards, I'm getting like investing money, like I'm investing money in something. Like I'm thinking of when you put a deposit on something, like you're planning to get something and then you put a deposit on it. I'm getting this feeling of your mother losing her deposits. Um Wanting to get something out of something, putting money on it, and then on some loophole or on some whatever it is, losing her money or losing her deposit. And then this person is like, "Ah, gotcha, I'm taking it back." Yeah. And it's just gonna make her like really pissed off, and it's just gonna keep happening. Um, I think it's just gonna like take away her peace, and she won't know how to handle it. Because here with engage, only engage in conflict when every other alternative has been exhausted. Like I think she's gonna have to really learn how to um deal. Because I'm seeing this other person that snatches something back. It's like something that she wants. It's now, and she knows like they have the upper hand and she doesn't have power over the situation. So she's going to be forced to deal with people like this, and do so in a diplomatic manner and in a way where it doesn't make the situation worse for her. And I'm just feeling like the Nine of Swords right now, where it's going to really stress her out and make her worried about things financially, because it's like she's going to lose money on this, like on this happening to her. Um, and I'm getting like the karma for the like I'm picturing like what created this karma now is somebody who has this tendency to like say like they hire somebody to do a job, and this person like they have a contract, they do the job, and when it comes time to pay up, it's like your mother would this is a possibility, but she would make an issue out of every little detail and then say, "Oh no, well that's not there. I'm going to take this money back," or, "Oh, I'm not going to give you this." And like, this other person being in a position of like, "Oh shit, like I'm not going to get paid." And they don't want to, completely lose their shit because they know that it's going to make the situation worse. So they have to be very professional and diplomatic and all that. But it's so draining for them and stressful. And so now they're like having to jump through hoops. Like I'm seeing these dolphins. I'm thinking of marine land. You know how like the dolphins will jump through hoops, or I don't know if it's the dolphins or the whales. I think it's dolphins. They have to jump through hoops and like put on this like performance in order to get what they've get what they're due. Like, this is what I mean by what they've invested in, you know? Um, like, get their rights that they're due for the work or the effort that they put into something. And so that's what I'm getting is like, um I like, it's the karma that your mom sees is gonna have coming to her, but I'm seeing it as like maybe she did stuff like this to people or to you, um like where she asked you to do work for her or do things for her, like on the strength of a promise. Because I just heard there's like a business law rule. What is it called? um when you rely on, like, say somebody says, I'm going to donate, because I'm thinking about contracts. Like, there has to be certain conditions for a contract to be legally binding, and it has to go both ways, where there's like an offer and like consideration that goes both ways. But if there's only one party that receives the consideration, or you could call it a promise, and the other party relies on that promise, and now they're in a worse situation, they're still required to pay or to give what they've promised. And so, an example of that would be, promising a charity money, and then they go ahead and use the funds or plan a building, or and then you turn around and say, well, I'm not going to give it to you. So, like, it is legally binding. They can sue you and say, we relied on your promise to our detriment. That's what I'm getting, like, where she's done stuff like this, where she's made offers to people and they've like relied on it, to where now they've invested in it or they've invested something, and then she just pulls back and then doesn't want to do it. And so I'm just seeing like this type of karma for her that she has coming to her, where she invests things on the strength of some promise or something, and then somebody just like snatches it away and then does it in a way that's so childish, and uh just really childish. And like, it's almost like a game to them, like these dolphins, like they're always like playing around, like they're playing games. Um, and it's so like, it's so childish, and it's so reckless, and it's childish and reckless. So, anyways, I feel like that's the karma that she's getting, is that she's going to be putting into things, expecting a payout, and then not getting the payout. And it's going to be so easy for the other person to walk away, and she'll be placed in a position where she has to avoid conflict and avoid making it worse, by being more diplomatic. Otherwise, she knows she's going to make the situation way, way worse. And I don't know, I almost felt like there's 2 cards here. Um, so yeah, that's the karma she doesn't see coming, is, and I'm getting a sense of like desperation too. Um, it's just so funny. You know what? When I was doing group 3, I kept thinking group 4, but I think I forgot to mention it in group 3. But I'll mention it now. This is coming also, this ties to group 3. This is also coming from a sense of desperation, where she's, in group 3, we talked about the desperation of like needing something or wanting something desperately and just putting something into it, hoping to get a return. And then here it's like, no, you got scammed, you got bamboozled. Like, this person just took you for a fool, or played you for a fool. Um, or just didn't give you, or found loopholes, or did things to not give you what's you're entitled to. And like, the fact that I'm talking about legally as well, um it's things that are like, uh that she's entitled to, like, legally, so like being scammed, like, that's illegal. Giving money to someone, and them being required to give you something back, and then not, like, that's illegal stuff. So, um, that's the karma. Like, that's what I'm feeling for her. Either it's like being scammed or bamboozled, and then someone just being like, haha, like, now I'm just walking away. I'm going to keep it and walk away with this Four of Pentacles and Eight of Cups, you know. and then her being in a position to have to beg or to negotiate or try these different means, um and it and then having to walk away from it, like from whatever she's put into it, um and then like it not working out for her. So that really sucks. I mean, that really sucks. And I'm seeing this envy right here. Like, I'm wondering what this envy is about. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, maybe there's an envy for these people who are able to just keep things and walk away, or maybe feeling like something's unfair. Who knows? Who knows what that envy is about? But um or maybe um the envy is about people who have done work for her or have invested things into her, and her envying them, like that they were able to do it so easily, and then I don't know, whatever. Something weird like that. So anyways, that's her karma that she doesn't see coming, is like she's going to lose out on things that she's put effort into, and time into and resources into, and the other person's just going to like snatch it back and be like, no, no, it's like, you're a narcissist, I'm taking it back. Or just like finding stupid reasons to not give her what is due to her, or whatever rights that she has. So yeah. So anyways, that's her reading. That's your reading, and that's her reading. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.